News Nigeria TV. My name is Amakri Ikijana, and this is Truth Behind the News. Right here at 9 News Nigeria TV, we do the due diligence to go bring you the real truth behind all of the news that you see on the pages of newspaper, on social media, or on national TV. Okay, because we believe that there is definitely more to those information that you see flying around, so we take the pen to go dig out all of the beautiful stories that are behind those news that you're seeing. And of course, today on this program, Truth Behind the News, we're going to be looking at a whole lot of issues in the polity of the country. And to do this with me, I have a gentleman who's going to be joining me to discuss this on the program. But before I bring him to you, let's quickly go on a short break. When we return from this break, I will introduce my gentleman who is a guest right here with me on the program. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back to the show. You're still right here on Truth Behind the News on 9 News Nigeria TV. Again, my name is Amakri Ikijana. Before I went on the break, I said that I was going to be introducing my guest today on the show. And ladies and gentlemen, join me. Welcome, Mr. Luxin Igwoku. Wow, Luxin, you're welcome to the show. You know, I have a little difficulty pronouncing that your name. That's such a heavy name. And handshake will not be bad.
Actually, a quality name.
Oh, it's a quality name.
Yes.
It's good to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, this is your first time on Truth Behind the News. Yeah. And you know what we do here is to bring the truth behind the news that are making the rounds in the newspapers, social media, and all the news media. So we say the truth as it is. You ready for this?
Yes. I live to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, we're not in court, yeah, so feel free. All right, so Mr. Luxin Igwoku is an education consultant, CEO SpringBoard Academy, and of course is also a part-time lecturer. Am I correct?
Yeah.
All right, you're welcome again to the show. All right, so today on the show we're starting out today by looking at the 2021 Anambra governorship election that is coming forward. Okay. Right, that's coming up any moment because the current governor is actually rounding off his second tenure. Yeah. Let's look at this current governor. That's Mr. Willie Obiano, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's look at his performance. Do you have any idea what his performance will look like? Looking at what Governor Peter Obi, the former governor, did. I mean, Governor Peter Obi is somebody that is held in high esteem, you know, from everything that he said he did, at least what he said he did. I have not been to Anambra to actually personally take a look at, you know, his performance. What do you think? What's your thought on that?
Well, it is expected at least he will perform. Though I am not a regular visitor to Anambra State. Okay. But from what I read in the papers, well, he's trying, or he has tried so far. But in Nigeria, we always believe every governor can do better. So it would have been better if he had done better than what he says he has done at the moment. Yeah.
Wow. I think that the comparison between him and Peter Obi also has a reflection on the political parties and the acceptance of the political parties in the state.
Yes.
Obiano is on the platform of ABGA, right? And Peter Obi actually was on PDP. Yes. All right. So if you look at it now, how will this affect the next election that is coming forth?
Yes, both ABGA and PDP, they are what? Eastern political parties. They are widely accepted in the East. So as far as Anambra State is concerned, ABGA is the ruling governor in the state, and definitely that has an impact because the governor has his people in the party. So because of that, ABGA has a strong grip also in Anambra State. Now PDP was there before, but generally in the eastern part of the country, they see PDP as their party.
In the eastern part of the country?
In the eastern part of the country, they see PDP as a party. Anybody that's not in PDP and not in ABGA, definitely the fee is not widely accepted there.
Okay. Now let's look into this now. We have several people, both men and women, coming up for this election. All right. This is going to be a tough one. Yes. Because when I did, by the way, 9 News Nigeria actually did a brief profile on most of the candidates who are contesting for this Anambra election. And one of the things that I found out was that a whole lot of the people who are contesting for this election are people who have history with government. Some of them are serving senators, some of them have served in government in the past in different capacity as commissioner and all of that. And one thing that speaks to me is the fact that this is going to be a very, very competitive and tough election for Anambra people, So what's your thought on this?
Definitely it's going to be tough, because when you check the pedigrees of those that are contesting under different parties.
Yeah.
There are people that have been well known, there are people that have been in government and the rest. So definitely it's going to be very tough. But we will be able to streamline everything to those that will really contest the elections after the primaries. Now the battle for the primary is another one, because in Abga we have what? Charles Soludo. We have what? Dr. Stanley.
Stanley, yeah.
Yeah. And between Soludo and Stanley, will be made to know that the governor, that's Obiano,
okay,
is what? Supporting what? Soludo.
Okay.
Because if you can look at it critically, he has made Soludo what? The chairman of what? Anambra Vision what? 2020.
Wow.
And that alone. And another thing I also heard is this, that the wife to the governor is supporting what? Stanley.
No, that's funny. Okay, so the husband is supporting the other person,
yes,
and the wife is supporting this person. Yeah. That's a conflict right there.
Serious conflict. So how they are going to resolve it, I don't know.
But that also speaks on the fact that both the husband and the wife don't share the same ideology.
On the look of things. On that part alone, Abga may have a problem.
Okay.
Because they say a house that is divided against itself cannot stand. So if the wife and the husband cannot agree on a consensus candidate, definitely division has started. But if that can be settled, I see Soludo as a very strong candidate for the election.
But now, another thing is, what is the strength of the wife of the governor in the state? Does she have such an impact? Does she have such influence?
Yes, definitely she will wield a certain degree of influence. But from the look of things, they can work it out.
Okay, now, so let's go back. A few things I'd like to touch on. You talked about the Vision 2070,
yes,
right? That's like 49, 50 years from now. That's a whole long time. And whatever that is, in the past, you also spoke on the fact that it takes strong economy and security, yes, to build a state, and that's why you think that the governor is actually picking Soludo, because Soludo has strength in economy, yes, right? Yes. Okay, now, but looking at this 2070 Vision 2070, and that's a long way to go. Is it that this man is setting a blueprint that he wants Soludo to now take over, or this is just political jargon?
I would say it's a political jargon. Because this is not the first time we have heard this.
Yeah.
Yes, we had Vision 2000, Vision 2010, Vision 2020. Until now, there is nothing to show for it. So anybody that is setting a goal is unrealistic, in quotes. It's just political gimmick.
What I also think is that, like when you have Dubai, for example, these are people, United Arab Emirates, these are people who are known for setting vision for their nation. And one thing that is different about them is that in Nigeria, like you said, we have Vision 2010, Vision 2020, and none of them is a reality, right? And now we're talking about Vision 2070. Now, when you look at these guys, you see their blueprints. Everybody can see. And then they have people, they appoint people who actually buy into the vision, who understand what the vision is, not for political gimmick or whatever. And that's different between us and them. And that's a problem, because for us in this Africa, especially in Nigeria, we need to always check our motive. You know, when we want to do things, what is the motive? Because this is the major reason why our visions don't come to pass.
One thing I'm going to tell you is this. Many of our politicians, they are self-centered.
Okay.
They never meant what they say. They never meant it at all. It has become a slogan. Okay, you know, from time immemorial, many of them don't follow their manifestos. If at all, they have what is called what? A manifesto. Now they don't follow it. Now, another thing again that has made us to be where we are today is the insincerity on the part of our leaders. And that's where corruption comes in. Many of them are not going there because of you and me. They are comfortable. Their pensions, when they leave office, can serve their children yet unborn, their generation yet unborn. So definitely they are not going there for you and me. So the development they are talking about is their internal development, not external one. So they are only there for themselves. Now in Dubai, they set goals. And
for the country.
Yes, for the country. And they set time. And when that time comes, they will tell you what they have been able to achieve. Dubai was worse than Nigeria. It was a desert. Nothing there. But today, it's one of the best places to live in on earth. So, our leaders are not sincere. Number two, the political willpower is not there. So, they just give us the theory. Because, and again, Nigerians, we are very, very forgetful. When it's time for election, we easily forget what they did in the past. Or
the promises that they made.
The promises they have made. They never kept. So it's a problem again on our own part.
All right, keep that thought right there. We're going right now on another short break. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still right here on Truth Behind the News on 9 News Nigeria TV. And of course, my guest on the show, Mr. Luxin, is still right here with me. And we're talking Anambra 2021 governorship election. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take it up from there and look at the different parties in the state that are currently gaining acceptance from the people, and also the candidates who are on these platforms and the chances that they may have to become the next governor of Anambra State. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. We're still right here on 9 News Nigeria TV. Of course, the program you're listening to right now, watching, is Truth Behind the News. We've been talking Anambra politics, okay, and of course, as it pertains to the 2021 governorship election. Luxin, Mr. Luxin, that is Igwoku. I'm actually trying to avoid this one. He's still right here with me in the building, and we're having a wonderful discourse right here on the show. Let's backtrack to the days of Peter Obi, right, who rode under the platform of PDP for 8 years and delivered quality service, at least according to him. I always had to say that because to measure governance in Nigeria is pretty difficult.
Yes.
It's pretty difficult because people actually celebrate what is supposed to be ordinary. So you go to build a small bridge and it becomes an achievement. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it's difficult to measure all of those. So, but Peter Obi has a whole lot of press reports that he gives about himself and all that he's done. Especially one of the things that he is very loud about is the fact that he kept a whole lot of money. He saved a whole lot of money for the state and kept so much in the reserve for the next government, okay, to come in. So looking at that, and the way he's loved, all right, by the people, and then coming from him now to APGA, which is the current government in Anambra State. Now, do you foresee a conflict?
There's not be a conflict. That's between what APGA and PDP.
Yes.
Now, another thing why I don't see PDP winning the election in Anambra State is this. At the central, PDP is weakened at the moment.
Okay.
There's no clear leadership, which is Secondus is fighting his own battle. Now, many of the governors in the eastern states are also what? Pulling away from what? From the PDP. Imo State is not PDP. Ebonyi State has also what? Left PDP to what? To join APC. So definitely the states with what? PDP in the eastern part of the country should be two. That's what we have Enugu.
Rivers.
No, not Rivers.
Okay. Rivers
we have,
is nice.
yes,
we have South.
We have Enugu and we have Abia.
Okay.
Those are the two what? States now with with PDP.
Okay.
So the strength, the political strength from other governors in the East to support what the PDP candidate has also been what?
Weakened.
Reduced or weakened.
Yeah.
So that's another point. Now, apart from that, the power of equivalency is going to play out again. You know, ABGA is an Eastern party formed by the Eastern people. The presence of ABGA in other states is not known. But in the East, it is very, very, very strong. So the power of incumbency is going to play. And apart from that, the candidate ABGA feeds again is going to play a greater role. So Soludo may not have what the financial wherewithal.
Who said it doesn't?
Well, personally,
He was the central central bank governor.
Well, it may be the
and that means a whole lot of
it's not a business
in Nigeria.
From what we know, it's not a business.
No, the immediate past central governor was the Sanusi himself.
Yes.
He used to disburse money like.
It's not his personal money. So from what we know, Soludo does not have that financial wherewithal. Okay. But if he has the backing of the governor, definitely governor is going to use what the funds of the state to what to bankroll is what
and other
resources. So with that, I see them. And again, in the PDP, the candidate contesting the primaries in PDP are too many. There are too many.
Yeah, so Godwin Madika is there.
Yes.
What's this man?
Uche
Kunife. That's also a very strong woman.
She is strong politically in the East. She's very strong. She's a serving senator.
Yeah.
And apart from that, she has defeated many people
to get to that place.
To get to that position.
And don't I also foresee her also having a whole lot of support from the women folk because that's going to be groundbreaking to have. When I was doing a documentary, a profile on her, I also made mention that if she emerges the next governor of Anambra State, that's going to be a milestone achievement because that has never happened in any state in Nigeria.
Many of the women, they are not that politically aware of their rights.
Okay.
That is one. Number two, there is what we call political apathy on the part of Nigerians. They are of the mentality, either we vote or we do not vote, their candidate will win. So because of that, it has really reduced the zeal for people to come out to vote. Now, if at all they vote, and if there is no rigging, yes, you may have a better chance.
Is there even a slim chance that we'll have an election in Nigeria without rigging?
It's not possible. See, most elections in Nigeria are rigged.
That most times there are not even elections in Nigeria.
Yes. So most elections in Nigeria are rigged. And if the incumbent governor wants to play dirty, another party may not go in. Unless the federal government will yield their power in it.
But that's another point now, very important. Now the parties in Anambra State that have gotten a whole lot of acceptance from the people so far, we can look at parties like ABGA, parties like PDP, and YPP because of Senator Uba, Ifeanyi Uba, right? Okay. Now, it's interesting that in all of these three parties, APC is not among them. Yeah. And APC is the ruling party at the central.
Yeah. See, in the eastern part of the country, they see APC as Hausa or Yoruba party. And because of what? How will I put it? Which English am I going to use for this? The Easterners, anytime they see APC, they count them as the Hausa, the Fulani party. And that's going to be a problem. Now, but if we look at it, Senator Ifeanyi Uba, apart from being a philanthropist, is a senator. Ngige was a former governor in Anambra State. And now he's a minister. So he's supposed to have an influence in the state. But I don't know how he's doing it on. Presently, he says he's filled with the national assignment. He's not contesting the election. I don't know if he's pushing anybody. So the candidate APC is going to feed in that state. I'm not so sure of how strong he is as far as this election is concerned. Another thing I see again, our president, Muhammadu Buhari, is trying to withdraw the federal influence in state elections. We saw what happened in Edo State.
Yeah.
From a reliable source, I learned that the APC candidate in Edo State lost the election because the federal government refused to release money.
Okay.
Now, if federal government wants to rig the election, if they want to use what? Their influence, it may be very, very what? Easy for what? For APC. But from the look of this, from his body language, I don't think the president will want to do that. So if that is not done, so definitely.
Yeah.
APC will find it difficult.
Like again, too, even in the case of Anambra, where you don't have structure for APC at all, the people are anti-APC. Yes. It's going to be, anything you do will be so glaring that you are playing foul play.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So let's focus on the guys that are available now. The YPP, the PDP, and what's the again? ABGA. Now, in all of these three political parties that have structure and presence in Anambra State, you have at least one strong figure contesting on this platform. For YPP is Ifeanyuba, for ABGA is Soludo, for PDP there are loads of them. Yes. Okay, so I'm thinking, looking at all of these people and their profile, who would you think have the slightest opportunity to become next governor of Anambra State?
Well, I see ABGA.
So that's Professor Soludo.
We don't know if he's Professor Soludo.
But you already
the primary has not been conducted.
Yes, but you already said the governor is already backing him up. So that speaks a lot of volume.
It speaks volumes. But the truth is this: the primary has not been conducted.
Okay.
So it's after primary we'll be able to know what the particular candidate that is representing what a party. And maybe after the primary we'll be able to discuss what better. Yeah. Then we really know what the chances of those that are likely to win the election. And again, from what? From popular votes, then definitely we should be able to know.
Interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going back on a short break, another quick break. This has been an interesting discourse so far. I don't know if you are watching this right now. You can also give us a feedback. Tell us what you think about what is going on in Anambra State right now. Who are the candidates that you think that they have the slightest chance to even pick up at least the primary tickets? Okay, before we begin to look at who wins the next governor of Anambra State. Stay with us. You're still live right here on Truth Behind the News. Amakri Ikijana is my name. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Stay right here on 9 News Nigeria TV. Amakri Ikijana is my name, and this is Truth Behind the News. Mr. Luxin Igwoko, stay right here with me in the building, and together we've been talking Anambra 2021 governorship election. You know, Anambra is a very strong state. Anambra has actually suffered a whole lot in the past. You know, I remember the days of Ngige, and that was during the days of Obasanjo.
Yes.
And Ngige suffered like it was like a sacrificial lamb.
Yes.
who wanted to liberate Anambra, and so far people have gotten their eyes rather on Anambra State. As a person, I do not have a favorite candidate, though I'm not from Anambra State, by the way. So, but reading the profile of these people, I took particular interest in Godwin Maduka. Now, why did I mention this person? In his profile, I got to know that he's been involved in a whole lot of humanitarian projects. You know, he's somebody who read abroad. He's a medical doctor, by the way. And then he has invested over $20 million in developing his community. Now, for me, I think that this is the way I reason, that if a person can spend his personal money, all right, on people that is not benefiting anything from, if you can spend your money to develop your community, then if you have access to government funds, you'll be able to better more lives in the community. I don't know if you share this kind of sentiment.
I shared with you quite well.
Okay.
But those that are going to vote, they are another set of people entirely.
Okay.
Do they see it that way? That's the question I've always asked. Yes, his people may vote him. The area he has concentrated his development, they may vote him. But with the number of those people win the election for him, that's another thing. Who is he in Nigerian politics? That's another thing. Now, if we are in the civilized world now, we'll say, okay, his achievements and all those things, they win the election for him.
Yeah.
But now we are still very, very what? I wouldn't say we are backwards. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
But our level of reasoning in Nigeria today, it is what you can give to the people at that point in time that wins election for you. Some people will say they have voted for 1,000 naira. Some people will say they have voted for 2,000 naira. Now, from where the man is coming from, do you think he's willing to play this type of politics? That's another thing we need to look.
That's a decision that he needs to make.
Yes.
He should understand the polity in Nigeria.
I wouldn't even advise him
to go that route.
To buy votes.
Okay.
Yes, I wouldn't advise him to buy.
Doesn't the end justify the means?
Well, they say the end justifies the means, but I don't think it's in all cases. Because you want to win election now you do things that are against your personal principles. Another thing I want to let you know is this: many of our politicians, or the so-called politicians, do you understand me? They don't go there to represent you and me. They are going to represent themselves, and that is the reason they are willing to do anything to get there. And once they give you those things and they get there, they are no longer representing you, or they are representing themselves, representing their pocket.
So every time, whatever they give to you is your settlement.
Yeah, it's your settlement. And it is wrong. We need to change that narrative.
But don't you think that one of the things that also worked so well for Ifeanyiba was this humanitarian, work?
Yeah, being very philanthropic.
Yeah, being a philanthropist and doing so much for his community. That has also helped him become the Senate representation.
Yes. Now, in a senatorial zone, he has done a lot for them.
Okay.
So, if other senatorial zone
also have people.
Yes, not even people. In the field, this man in his own senatorial zone, he has done a lot for his people. Not even with government money, but his personal money. So definitely when he gets there, he's likely to want to do more for the state.
But then that's another thing that I don't know if any politician is actually watching this. I hope they are. But this should be a strategy for somebody who has intentions to contest for any public office that is beyond your immediate environment, right? Like somebody like Ifeanyiba, that you say, and the Godwin Maduka that I mentioned, who have done so much for their community. What is wrong in extending to, other communities, let other people feel your presence? Because in the end of the day, you are still going to need them for a greater office.
There are two things I told you before. When we're talking about our local politics and the ideal politics,
okay,
there are two different things. Ideally, yes, whatever he has done for his community, for his senatorial zone, for the state, should boost his chances of becoming what? A governor. But our Nigerian politics, we have not mature to that level yet. They are still vote buying. The power of incumbency and all these things. So they still play a lot of roles.
And who becomes the next?
Yes. During election, even the worst election in this country, I'm sorry to digress a little, is the local government election. The one that just happened in Delta State is the worst I've seen in my life.
Okay, what happened?
In Delta State, it's worse. The ruling party, which is the PDP, they denied where the other parties have their political presence, voting materials and all those things.
Wow. And
all they will do is just to carry the ballot paper. I have videos. They thumbprint everything. So they had already written the names of the candidates they wanted. So it doesn't just go. This is not peculiar to one party alone. Now, where other parties have their presence, they also do, which is very bad. So it's going to take time for us to have credibility in our electionary processes.
Wow.
If we have credible, definitely the right candidates will be there.
Wow. All right, so this is an amazing conversation we had so far on the Anambra governorship election. So after the primaries, we are going to come back together and look at this so we can narrow the discourse down to the individual who emerged on the different political parties. That way we can actually zero in and look at who truly has the chance to win the election. All right, but we'll be right back and to discuss some other issues that affect Nigeria as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the much that we can take right here on the Anambra governorship election 2021. Okay, as I said, after the discourse, after the primaries rather, we'll be right back to narrow down on the different candidates who are contesting on the different platforms. It is Truth Behind the News right here on 9 News Nigeria TV. My name is Anambra Governor. We'll see you on another episode of this beautiful program. God bless you.